Hello and welcome to CX Today. My name is Charlie, and today I'm delighted to be joined by two very special guests to discuss Limehome's impressive 22% uplift in its NPS score, Net Promoter Score that is, after embracing an experience-led growth strategy. Yes, today joining me, I have Julia Zuber, Customer Insights Lead at Limehome, and David Ascott, Strategy Lead at Chattermill. So thanks very much, both of you, for joining me. And let's get straight into the conversation. And I suppose the best place to start is by asking you, Julia, kind of to tell us a little bit about what you do at Limehome.
Absolutely. So Limehome wants to revolutionize the hospitality industry by blending the quality standards of a hotel with the comfort and ease of an apartment. So instead of conventional hotel rooms, Limehome offers fully furnished apartments with stylish designs and modern amenities. And these apartments are available for both for short-term and also for long-term stays, and they cater to travelers who prefer a more, let's say, home-like environment during their trips. And one of our key features is our tech-driven approach. So the entire booking and check-in process is digital, which enables our guests to manage their stays via a smartphone app. So a contactless booking, an online check-in, as well as a personalized and completely digital booking management system allow us in the end to operate without the need of any personnel on site. And this technology-driven model not only makes the operation more efficient, but also enhances the guest experience by providing convenience and also flexibility at every touch point. So what truly sets us apart is our commitment to quality and also innovation. And each of our properties is designed by renowned architects, which try to ensure a blend of style, comfort, and also functionality. At Limehome, we don't just want to provide a place to stay. We're offering a modern lifestyle experience paired with technology that always aims to exceed expectations. And you can really see that because our team is dedicated to continuously improve our offerings and to meet the evolving needs of travelers worldwide.
Excellent. I think that's a really great overview and nice little kind of introduction to your tech-driven approach, which I'm sure we'll get onto. But first, kind of maybe the kind of next best question to ask you is kind of about that kind of experience-led growth concept that you've embraced, and why you chose to embrace that.
That's a really good question. So the Department of Customer Insights at Limehome has kind of a unique origin story. It all began as let's say, a woman show when I started working for Limehome. And it was basically, I was tasked with building guest insights from scratch. So when I joined Limehome, one of the prominent challenges I faced was that there was an insane amount of feedback data from our guests, but we weren't utilizing it effectively. So the information was basically lying around without any structure or a clear concept for deriving valuable insights from it. So in the early days, I read through hundreds of guest reviews. I categorized them manually to extract valuable insights. And initially, I could manage this process, but as the company grows, so as Limehome grew, so did also the volume of guest data, which made it increasingly overwhelming to manage effectively. And it didn't take long that I realized I can't do that by myself. We need a more efficient solution. So I did some research, I gathered some information, and in the end, I pitched Chattermill to our general managers, and I emphasized the potential benefits and also cost savings it could bring us to our business. And I can tell you, I faced a lot of internal resistance and skepticism. I agreed to a lot of compromises. I tried out different ways of handling the volume of data, but nothing was really efficient or useful. So I again advocated for the adoption of Chattermill's technology. I demonstrated the value of it in extracting actionable insights from guest feedback at scale in real time. And it took a while, but I have to say now really everyone at Limehome recognizes the importance of listening to the voice of our guests. I can really say that with the adoption of Chattermill, the Department of Guest Insights gained a lot of traction within Limehome. And by integrating Chattermill's feedback analysis capabilities, Limehome now can not only meet but exceed our guest expectations and drive growth in the competitive hospitality market.
Yeah, lots of really great stuff again in there, and that I think there's it'd be great to dive in more into some of that in terms of maybe some of the barriers that you face. But I think maybe now's a great time to bring in Dave. Obviously, Julia has mentioned a lot about Chattermill's tech and how you supported that transition to kind of experience-led growth. Can you maybe shine a light, maybe a bit more on kind of on how Chattermill kind of supported that transition?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Charlie. So yeah, I think to pursue XLG, a company must treat its unique customer experience as its competitive advantage. So this means sort of proactively investing in and consciously building a distinctive customer experience across the whole customer journey. And so obviously the right approach will be unique for every business, right? The key is to understand those elements of the experience that have the biggest impact, both on the customer and on your business objectives, and then to basically consistently work to improve them. So for a Costco or an IKEA, for example, there's going to be a focus on keeping prices low. For Uber, it's going to be more around things like convenience. And if you take a luxury brand, it's going to mean things like driving exclusivity. And obviously, you need a process to make this possible, because it's not a one-time thing. You can't just do it once. You're going to be doing it repeatedly. It's that kind of ongoing exercise. And so at a top level, it basically means you need to have a really robust process to understand what customers think about the experience, to put this information into the hands of teams who are empowered to make changes, and then to make the changes and measure the impact of the changes that you make. And if any of these links in the chain are not working, you're not going to see the benefit. You're not going to get the benefit in terms of your metrics or really achieve experience-led growth. So working with Julia and Limehome, the first thing we did was to make that first step possible. So allowing them to have a really clear and accurate understanding of what their customers think. And obviously, there's no way to measure experience. What you're actually measuring is what someone thought of the experience. So what was their perception of the experience? So Julia came in, as she mentioned, with a vision that Limehome would be customer-led. So initially, she was manually reading through and classifying all of the different sources of feedback, the Booking.coms, the Airbnb reviews, the survey responses, support tickets via Dixa, the whole thing. And what the Chattermill technology did was to automate that entire process. So to pull all of the information together in one place and then analyze the feedback using artificial intelligence, so that the Limehome team were able to genuinely understand what their customers felt or what they think and what they feel. And this is kind of a non-negotiable of experience-led growth. Without that genuine and accurate understanding of what customers think about their experience, an organization simply won't achieve it. And I think the second way that we look to support the Limehome team is kind of what you might term everything that's sort of upstream and downstream of the technology that's needed to make sure experience-led growth works. So looking at how and where the data is collected, looking at how insights can be shared, and equipping other teams within the business to really be able to find insights that are relevant for them and their specific roles, and then to act on that data as well.
Yeah, I think that offers a really good demonstration of how Chattermill came in and didn't kind of enforce its own sort of use cases on Limehome, but you worked kind of together to enhance Limehome's strategy. And I think that's a really great summary. But maybe now let's kind of get into some of the initiatives. Obviously, you brought together all this insane amount of voice of the customer data. I don't know, Julia, maybe if you could tell us about some of the initiatives that you've kind of run with that data to help deliver experience-led growth.
Oh, definitely. We've implemented several initiatives, all of them aimed at delivering experience-led growth. But to be honest, one of the most impactful ones has been really the implementation of Chattermill as our voice of the customer tool. And this tool really has transformed the way we gather and analyze guest feedback. Everyone in the company has access to Chattermill, and everyone in the company uses it to make sure that the decisions they're taking, or also the solutions they're coming up with, are aligned with the feedback of our guests. People across departments use the platform independently and utilize guest insights to drive decision-making and improve processes. But I feel that even even more has changed when it comes to an experience-led growth. We've really shifted our focus to a more customer-centric view in our objectives and also in our key results. We've, for example, we've incorporated metrics like the net sentiment, which is one of Chattermill's home-built metrics, as a key performance indicator to measure our success. And this shift in perspective has not only led to individual initiatives, but has fundamentally changed the way we approach our business. Simply by placing the guest experience at the forefront of everything we do. And because we're driven by our commitment to delivering exceptional experiences to our guests, our company has experienced significant growth.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's great that, you know, as you mentioned, that kind of everybody has this kind of can sing from the same hymn sheet. I guess everybody's got the same view of the customer experience from the kind of same platform, and can use that to kind of base their own decisions, off the same kind of data pool. And I think that has many potential benefits. And I don't know, David, if there's anything that you would add as to kind of what's really impressed you with how Limehome has kind of leveraged Chattermill's tech.
Yeah, I think to be honest, there's a lot of things that impress me, but the main one I'd pick out is the speed with which Julia has leveraged the technology and what it makes possible to drive change. We have an experience-led growth maturity framework, and it basically incorporates all of the capabilities that an organization needs to have in place to deliver XLG. So part of what my team does is we run maturity assessments for organizations, basically to understand their current reality, what they're good at, where their strengths are, where their weaknesses are, and then what they need to focus on to move to the next level. Because as we sort of touched on it, every organization is starting from a slightly different point, right? So what they need to focus on is going to be bespoke for them. And as of last year, Limehome are now ranked in the highest level of maturity. And Julia has used the technology not just to sort of embed what the customer thinks and feels across teams, which is fantastic, but also to change the entire culture of an organization. They now, as you mentioned, they now recognize that being obsessed with the guest experience and kind of creating that friction-free experience is how they're going to be successful over the long run. And again, as Julia mentioned, it's reflected across the organization, across the KPIs and OKRs for all teams, so they have that genuine alignment. So I think the speed with which Limehome has leveraged understanding their customers to deliver experience-led growth is incredibly impressive.
Absolutely. It would be great actually to see that kind of maturity model that you were discussing there, but maybe that's a conversation for another time. But I think, maybe kind of a really good way to go now is to maybe discuss some of the results that you've seen kind of from that the approach that you've taken. I mentioned at the start there was a 22% increase in your net promoter score, Julia. But what else have you kind of seen from a kind of business outcome perspective since you're kind of switched to an experience-led growth strategy?
Yeah. So as Dave already mentioned, the entire company is super keen on working now with Chattermill and driving improvements. And we've also really achieved several improvements in different key areas. Our focus on guest centricity has really allowed us to enhance the design of our apartments, for example. So they're not just appealing, as you might think, but also more functional to our guests. And by listening to feedback from our guests, we gain valuable insights into their preferences, their pain points when it comes to the things that apartments need to be equipped with. We were able to make informed decisions about the layout, the furniture, the amenities of our accommodations, and even little things like, for example, the signage for our hotel complexes. Already this changes so much for our guest experiences for the better. And all of those things are things we would have never known if we didn't use an insights platform like Chattermill. And also our digital product has undergone significant enhancements to become more user-friendly, more intuitive. Our digital product team continuously really tries to understand the issues and the pain points faced by our guests when using our digital booking service, so we can prioritize improvements that really address these concerns. And as a result, we've really created a seamless digital hotel booking experience, and even without staff on site. And we keep improving that until we really can ensure convenience, and satisfactions for all our guests at every step of their journey within Limehome. So I'd say our commitment to listening to our guests and prioritizing their needs has really led to tangible improvements in both our physical accommodations and our digital offerings. So ultimately in the entire product.
Yeah, and really great to hear a bit more about the kind of meticulous approach that you're taking to kind of finding those kind of pain points and improvement opportunities to kind of achieve some of those outcomes. So again, really lots of really great stuff there. But maybe to close, it would be great to hear kind of both of your kind of final pieces of advice that you would give to other customer experience teams to achieving customer experience-led growth. I don't know, David, you maybe want to start on this one?
Yeah, sure. I think sort of might sound a little bit cheesy, but every journey starts with a single step, right? So it's easy to hear things and go, oh, that sounds quite good, and then put it off to another day or wait for the perfect time to start. And I've spent nearly a decade now working with organizations to help them use CX to achieve business objectives, and so I can sort of say from experience the likely blockers that people often encounter are things like procrastination, so that kind of putting it off for another day or waiting for a perfect time to start. And also, some people aren't quite sure how to link back the concept of experience-led growth to their business and their specific business success. But so what I would say is that regardless of where you're starting from, what you should begin with is by getting a kind of a really clear understanding of your current reality, and then contrast that with where you want to be, and that will allow you to kind of identify what you need to do to start moving close to it. And actually just the sort of the act of contrasting where you are with where you'd like to be can be really good for sort of driving action. So it could show that you're actually quite a long way from where you want to be. And that kind of creates this sort of impetus for taking action, or you might find that you're actually quite close to where you want to be, and with a little bit of effort you could get somewhere pretty special. So I mentioned the maturity assessment earlier. Sometimes when implementing an approach like XLG, it can be difficult to know where to begin, but you've got to remember you don't need to reinvent the wheel, right? Both when it comes to understanding how you're currently doing and when it comes to implementing changes, you can just take the best practice that other organizations are doing and then apply it for your own organization. So the specific elements that you choose to focus on for your organization might be different, but the kind of core principles and steps of the process are the same for all organizations, those sort of links in the chain effectively. So I think that would be the one piece of advice I'd give from experience.
Yeah, I think that's a really great piece of advice there. And I don't know, Julia, if there's anything you would maybe to add to that.
Yeah, I totally agree with Dave. And what really helped us also to get this customer-centric view and to also take the path of experience-led growth is that we really recognize the importance of understanding the why behind the numbers. So data and metrics, this is valuable, and they are valuable tools for assessing performance and identifying trends, but they only really tell part of the story. So ultimately, you can have all the numbers in the world, but if you don't understand why they are the way they are, you won't be able to drive meaningful change of improvement. It really takes including empathy, listening to customer feedback, understanding the why behind the numbers. And just then, I think you'll be well equipped to drive experience-led growth and create truly exceptional customer experiences.
Absolutely. And I think that's maybe a great note to end on, but it's been great to hearing from you both and to kind of get kind of into the kind of nuts and bolts of Limehome's increasing success. So yeah, thanks very much for joining me both. And also thanks to everybody for watching. Bye for now.